Appreciate you all being here with us. So just to kind of kick things off, I'm Mrs. Smith, so one of the counselors here and counseling director. I have students' last names W through Z. We also have Miss Diaz Norman here with us.
Hi, how are you guys?
If you want to give your caseload breakdown.
Yeah, so I have GR through MC, and I have all students with ESL services.
We also have Mrs. Rudd.
Hi guys, good to see you. Glad you're here. My alphabet is M-E through V.
And then we also have Miss Frith.
I have last names A through G-O.
And then we also have Miss Tucker, who is our counseling intern, and Miss Wood had kind of kicked things off, who is our college advisor. So just starting off today, we're going to work through, Miss Wood, if you want to go ahead and move to the next slide. We are going to kind of go through everything today that relates to 9th grade. So everything that you need to kind of be paying attention to and thinking about this year as a 9th grader. This large group meeting kind of kicks off our individual ACP meetings that we will break into. Each counselor will meet with every student on their caseload. So for those of you that are in school 2 days a week, we will try and catch you probably when you're here in our building in person. And then for those of you that are virtual, we'll meet with you, we'll contact via email to schedule that virtual meeting. So you really need to make sure that you are checking your school email and responding when we get that out to you, and then participating and joining for the time that you have scheduled. During those individual ACP meetings, we're going to develop your academic career plan. So that is kind of a map of all of the classes that you want to take during high school, geared towards what your plan is for after high school, what you need to do in between now and then to get there, kind of tracking your progress towards graduation, whether that's a standard diploma, an advanced diploma, and then also looking at your SOLs needed for graduation and all of the testing requirements. And then all of this also helps to work towards registration. So in March, you'll register for classes, which we really take seriously. So your ACP will be available to you, and during your individual meeting, we'll go through a little bit of what's called Naviance. We'll talk about that a little bit today as well, but of where you can find your ACP in your Naviance account. So that then when it's time to register for classes, you can use that ACP as a guide to kind of help you to know what to register for. But know that doing the ACP and having that individual meeting with your counselor does not automatically register you for classes. You still have to register for classes, which you do in March during course registration time. It's really important that you take that process seriously. We do really try and hold you to what you register for. There's a lot of decisions that go into the master schedule and kind of how all the pieces fit together over the summer. So there cannot be a whole lot of changes on the back end. We need to have good decisions made on the front end when it's time to register for those classes.
Hi guys, I'm going to speak up with having the mask on, so hopefully you can hear me well. I'm going to talk about the two different graduation requirements for the two different diploma types. The first is the standard diploma. With the standard diploma, you will need 4 years of English. You will also have an SOL with your English 11, which will be the reading and writing SOL. For math, you will have 3 years of math. Part 1 and part 2, if you were to do a full year math class, 1 part counts as an elective and 1 part is a math credit. So you will still earn 2 credits for a full year of math, but it would be 1 count as a math and 1 as an elective. Along with that, you will need to have 1 SOL done with your math. That's usually done with algebra. Science is 3 years of a science class with 1 verified credit, which is 1 SOL for science. All 10th graders will take the biology SOL, so that will be a chance to take that SOL. History, you will have 3 years of history, and again, that includes 1 year of your verified credit, which is the SOL. For history, you'll take a World History 1, a VA US History, and the US Government class, along with EPF, which is Economics and Personal Finance, which is a requirement for graduation. 2 years of a fine arts, CTE, or foreign language, and then 4 electives. That equals 22 credits for the standard diploma with 5 SOLs. Ms. Wood, can you change to the next one, please? Thank you. The other diploma type that we offer is the advanced diploma. That looks a little bit different from the standard one, still the same amount of SOLs, 5 SOLs in the same areas that I just talked about in the standard one. But this one is 4 credits of English, 4 of math. You'll need to have Algebra 2 or above for the advanced studies. Science, again, 4 years of science, and you will need either chemistry or physics as one of those sciences. History, 4 years. It would be World History 1, World History 2, VA US History, and the US government. 2 years of the PE, 3 years of a foreign language. Again, economics and personal finance. 1 fine art or CTE credit, and 3 electives, which total 26 credits. Thank you. So what you need to move on to 10th grade, you must have 5 credits to move on to the 10th grade, and 3 of those classes credits need to be core credits. So your core classes are your English, math, science, history, and PE. So you'll need at least 3 of those to move on. Also, athletic eligibility, you must pass at least 3 out of your 4 classes the semester prior to when the sports are to be eligible to play. The winter sports are crucial because of the semester change in January. So please make sure you're passing your classes, and we're here to help offer that. And you must also be enrolled in at least 3 classes in order to be eligible.
All right, so your GPA is something you want to start thinking about now. Some people think that your GPA doesn't really matter before like 11th grade, and that's just not true. You really want to start thinking about it now, and your grades that you have right now are going to determine that first GPA that you'll see. Only final grades go into your GPA, so you'll see those at the end of the semester, or if it's a full year class, at the end of the year. And this chart kind of helps you see the breakdown. As you can see, some of the classes are weighted a little differently. So that first column is stuff that you'll think about later. Those are classes that you're probably not in yet. And the honors classes, if you are in those, they're going to be weighted a little bit higher, as you can see. And then the standard is that last column on the right. So if you want to think about where you stand now, you can kind of look at your grades now and make a guesstimate of what your GPA is going to be at the end of this semester. So here are some examples. If you have all Bs and all of your classes are just not honors, they're just the general academic classes, you're going to have a 3.0. If you had 2 A's in general classes and 2 B's in honor classes, you'd have a 3.7. And then the last one you can see, 2 C's and 2 D's in general academic, you'll have a 1.5. So those are just some examples. And it's really important to remember that your GPA when you're a senior is going to be an average of your whole time in high school. So I think a lot of seniors would say, like, the better you do earlier on and the harder you work earlier on, the better it will be, because it's really hard to bring up a low GPA. And it's a lot easier to make your GPA drop. So start thinking about that now and working towards a high GPA. So these are some average GPAs for students that get into some popular 4-year schools in Virginia. You can kind of just look at it. It's UVA, Virginia Tech, James Madison, George Mason, you know all those. But if you're thinking about any of these schools, you should kind of get a feel for what that average is up here, and that's going to be something you can aim for. These GPAs aren't like the end all be all. It is just an average. So people get into these schools with lower and higher GPAs, but it is something to motivate you and think about as you are working throughout high school. And then moving a little bit away from GPAs, we also wanted to talk about the PSAT. The SAT is something you'll take in 11th or 12th grade. And that is something you need to get into a lot of four-year colleges. The PSAT is a practice sort of that. It's offered once a year in October, and you'll want to take it in 10th grade if you're thinking about college. So you'd sign up next year to take that, and based on your score, you'll be able to figure out what you need to focus on when you're studying for your SATs, and it sort of just helps prepare you for that next bigger step.
All right, so I'm going to talk about some of the 10th grade courses that you guys will be thinking about taking for next year. So you guys will need English 10. You have to have English every single year, so that one's kind of already built into your schedule. You will need a math next year. You will need a science, probably biology. Well, I know some of you are taking biology this year, so you might have some different options that you can go over when you meet with your counselor for your next year science. If you're going for your advanced diploma, you will take a history next year. It will be World History 2, which we only offer as an honors class. You'll all take PE next year, and that includes your driver's ed. So that's kind of the health portion of PE next year, is you learn how to drive. Foreign languages, again, if you're going for your advanced diploma and you haven't started on those, we'll need to get started on your language requirements for next year. And if you have already started, we will just continue with those. And then the rest of your blocks in your schedule will be taken up with your electives. And these are just some examples of the electives that you'll be able to take as a 10th grader. So there's a lot of different options, something that hopefully everybody will like. We do want you to kind of have a good idea in mind of what you want to take next year when you come to your meeting with us. That way we can be prepared. We can look into the classes that you want and think about your career goal as well. So what classes can we help you get signed up for that are going to help you reach your goals for your career after you graduate high school or college? So take a look at these, be thinking about that so you're ready for your individual meetings with your counselors. So to get some more information on the classes that we offer, we would love for you to check out the program of studies, which can be found on Eastern View's website. This is a large document. It has all kinds of information in there that's going to be beneficial for you. It has all the graduation requirements we just went over, lots of frequently asked questions, along with every single class that we offer and a description of that class. So if you're not sure what electives we have or what you want to take, be sure to check this out ahead of time, read the description, see if that's something that you're interested in and you're eligible to take. So again, so you're prepared to meet with your counselor. So to go over some different kind of programs we have here at our school, we do have advanced placement classes, or we call them AP for short. So these are college level classes that can potentially get you college credit while you're here in high school. They are among the most difficult classes that we offer. So they're going to look good for your college applications. Colleges want to see you challenge yourself with these higher level classes. So it's a great way to make your transcript look competitive for when senior year rolls around. We do want you to commit to these classes though when you sign up for them. We don't honor class changes to switch out of advanced placement classes once school has already started. So make sure you're thinking about all that this is requiring of you, because you're making a commitment when you sign up to it or for it. Some AP classes do have summer assignments that you'll have to complete over the summer before you come into school. And if you don't complete a summer assignment, if you had one, that's not going to be a reason that we're going to switch you out of that class. So very important that you do that if it is required. And then, as I said, this is college level work. So it's going to be more homework probably than the classes that you've taken before. And then at the end of the course, you have the option to take your AP exam. So if you choose to do that, this is how you'll get your college credit. So if you score high enough on your AP exam, your college can choose to accept your transfer credits and potentially get you 3 college credits for a high school class that you took here in at Eastern View. The exam does cost money. As of right now, it's $95 a test. that you would have to pay out of pocket. So again, something to consider, but at the same time, it's going to get you college credits much cheaper than as if you were to take those classes at a 4-year school. So just again, March registration is so important. So if you're signing up for an AP class in March, make sure you're committing to it. You're ready to take on the load, ready to do your summer assignment, ready to put the time and effort into it, because we really don't do a whole lot of class changes once school starts. Another option we have is dual enrollment. These will be options more so in your 11th and 12th grade years. These classes allow you to be dually enrolled through both Germanna and Eastern View at the same time. We do have some other classes that are dual enrollment electives, such as culinary, where you're enrolled in another community college, Sergeant Reynolds, and Teachers for Tomorrow, another elective where you're dual enrolled through Shenandoah University to get college credits that way. But most of your academic dual enrollment classes are going to be done through Germanna. These are usually transferable to other community colleges and 4-year schools. So that means your college that you choose to go to will see this on your transcript, and then they will decide if you have scored high enough in the class, because this is based on your final grade in the class, not based on an AP test like AP classes are. So your college will determine if your grade is good enough for them to give you the credits. So either way, whether you're taking dual enrollment or AP, it's never going to be a guarantee that you'll get those college credits. It's always going to be up to the college. So make sure you reach out to the colleges and ask those questions before you make these decisions. Dual enrollment classes are weighted on a 5.0 scale. So for example, if you get an A in your dual enrollment class, you will get 5 points towards your GPA. Whereas if you take a regular class and you get an A, you'll get 4 points towards your GPA. So it can help boost that up a lot. And AP classes are actually weighted on a 5.0 scale as well. So that they're the same there. To qualify for a dual enrollment class, there is a placement test. However, we're not using that as of right now for this year due to COVID. So we're looking at your GPA instead, and you'll have to have a 3.0 GPA to qualify for a dual enrollment class. These classes cost money as well. CCPS pays 80% of the tuition, so you're only responsible for 20% of that. As of right now, it's $238.50 per class to get you 6 college credits. And then again, some of the electives, culinary, Teachers for Tomorrow, are able to be done at no cost. But again, something to consider if you're taking these classes, but also still going to be much cheaper than if you get these credits done at your 4-year university. So some 11th and 12th grade options that you'll have for dual enrollment will include English, history, American Civil War. Could be some different ones coming in the future years. It kind of depends on who signs up for what teachers we have on staff and stuff like that. So you might see some additions or some changes to that in the future. All right. So Germanna Scholars is the program that allows you to get your associate's degree while you're still here in high school. This is something that you would apply for at the end of your 10th grade year. This program takes place during 11th and 12th grade. You would spend your mornings at Germanna at the Daniel Tech Center. So you'd be there for first and second block, doing your core classes, and then you'd come back here to Eastern View in the afternoon and get in your electives, foreign languages, stuff like that you still have left. These classes are dual enrolled too, so they're going to go towards your high school diploma as well as your Germanna associate's degree. To be eligible for this program, you'll have to have Algebra 2 done by the end of 10th grade year. So if this is something you're interested in, make sure you mention this during your individual meeting with your counselor. We'll make sure you're on track for math. And then you do pay full tuition for this program. There are some scholarships and some financial aid available through Germanna, but it's not covered 80% like our dual enrollment classes are, so a little bit more expensive. There is an info session to come. Sounds like it will be virtual at this point, but that's going to be around February, I believe, January, February next year. Next semester. So keep an eye out for that. You guys can still attend that. Even though you can't apply quite yet, you can still attend and get some information that way. Another program we have, Mountain Vista Governor's School. This is a program you would apply to at the end of 9th grade. This program runs from 10th to 12th grade. For this, your first and second blocks are taken at Lord Fairfax Community College, which is up in Warrenton. You can have dual enrollment classes through this program as well, so you can earn some college credits this way. This program does focus more so on math and science, so if you're interested in anything in the STEM field, this might be a good thing for you to consider. There is a research component. To be eligible for this, you have to have Algebra 2 Advanced done by the end of your 9th grade year. So if you're eligible for that and you need to get Algebra 2 into your schedule for next semester, if you're on track to do that, you would need to be definitely ahead in your math, but let your counselor know so we can, again, make sure you're on track for that or look into other options. Applications for this program are available in the late winter, so keep an eye out for that. There's an info session for this as well, so be sure you're listening out to announcements and everything so you can join in on that if this is something that you're interested in. And our nursing program. So this program won't take place until 12th grade, so you wouldn't apply until the end of 11th grade. But essentially you'll be completing your first year of Germana nursing classes here at Eastern View during your senior year. Also, upon completion of this program, you are able to sit for your CNA exam. That's your certified nurse assistant, which can have you leave high school with a certification, in a great position to get a job and also further your nursing education. So something to consider, for later on down the road if nursing is a career path that you are potentially interested in.
Ms. Diaz, yep.
Oh, sorry, I couldn't unmute myself. How are you guys? So this is Mrs. Diaz-Norman. So we're just going to go over some online resources that we have. So collegeboard.org is an online resource that you guys are going to most likely use if you're looking at some four-year colleges in preparation for the SAT. You sign up for the SAT on there. We're also going to go over Naviance Student. So it's linked to the EVHS website, and on your CCPS apps page under grades and transcripts, you can log in through Clever with your Google login. Naviance is a website that you're going to be using a lot throughout high school. So Naviance is something where you're going to be using when you want to do some research about colleges, about careers, and it's also a place where you're going to be able to find your ACP or your academic career plan when you meet individually with your counselor. We'll go more into depth about how you can find that. If you go to About Me and you go to My Stuff, Documents Shared with Me, you'll be able to see your academic and career plan on there. And that's uploaded every single year when you meet with your counselor. Also, on Naviance, you can research a lot about colleges. So if you know, for example, the name of a school that you're thinking about, you can just type in the name on Naviance and it'll give you some more information about the school. So it'll give you information, for example, about the size of the school, where it's located. You can also learn information about the majors that are offered at that school, and also the level of competitiveness, like how many students they accept and percentage. And then if you don't know the specific name of a school that you're thinking about, what you can do is an advanced college search. And if you can put in the select criteria that you're interested in. For example, location, you can select any state. You can just click on Virginia if you want to look at just colleges in Virginia or outside of Virginia as well. And then you can search by how many students go to that school, whether you want a large school, a smaller school, medium size. So it gives you a lot of different criteria. And then if you click on view matches, it'll show you all the colleges with the criteria that you selected. So it's super, super helpful. And you can also, start to create a list of schools that you're thinking about as well. So if you come across a school that you like, you can click on the little heart next to the name of the school, and then it'll start to create a list for you under colleges that I'm thinking about. So this is something you can start to, put together throughout high school. And then also Naviance is super helpful when you're thinking about different career options. So you can explore career clusters. So there's different clear options, for example, under education or business or the health sciences. They have a bunch there. And so when you click on one, you can learn an overview about that career. And then it'll also give you specific information about specific occupations within that career area, that career cluster. And then when you click on a specific job, you can learn more information about how much you make in that job on average, for example, in Virginia versus the national average. It'll give you information about what you do on the daily tasks for that career. So super cool information. So you guys can start thinking about these things. Sorry about that. So you can also click on the little heart next to a career that you like as well. And then it'll start to create a list for you of different careers that you're thinking about. And what's also cool is that if you like a certain career option or occupation, it'll also show you related majors. So you can start to think about what you might want to major in college if you want to choose a certain career path. So like I said before, Naviance is something you're going to be using throughout high school. So under About Me, you can find your ACP plan on there. And then also you can find your grade point average or your GPA on there as well. And that's something that will be updated each year. So you can go to My Account, and that's where you'll find your GPA. And then also there'll be some assessments and surveys on there that you'll do throughout high school as well to learn more about yourself. And then also senior year, that's something that you fill out if you're looking for letters of recommendation and whatnot. So your counselor and your teachers can know some more information about you. So you're definitely going to be using this, each year. So it's good that you can start to get familiar with it.
Hey, hi everybody. My name is Miss Wood. I'm the college advisor here at EV, and I actually won't be the college advisor next year. There'll be a new one. So when you are a senior, I won't be here, but I am here now to help you. And I'm sure you will have an amazing college advisor for the next 2 years. But we wanted to talk about how you can stay connected with us. Please follow all of us on social media. We have Eastern View High School Counseling Department on Facebook, where we post a lot of important information and updates. That's probably where we will be posting our Germanna Scholar Info Night and EVHS Info Night information. We also have a Twitter, and then you can sign up for the freshman class remind by texting at EVHS 2024 to 81010. I encourage all students to do that. That's my remind, and so I will send you any updates on different college-related opportunities for 9th grade students. And then also we have an Instagram. So very hip, very cool. Follow us on Instagram as well. Lots of good information there. And listen to EVTV each morning or follow the announcements on the EVHS webpage. There's a lot of very important information, and it's really hard for us to get it to you all, when we're doing it in this virtual setting. So just make sure that you're staying as connected as possible, because we really want to be there for you, and we really want to connect with you during this time. And so important resources, your principal and your assistant principals are always there to be a resource and to help you. Your school counselor, so reach out. Mrs. Stone is the counseling admin assistant. Reach out to her if you have questions. She deals with everything under the sun, from transcripts to anything. Mr. Johnson, who is the career coach. So he is a career coach from Germanna, and he can help you navigate anything community college, 2-year. He can also help with 4-year. He worked in 4-year colleges for a very long time. So he's a very helpful resource. Myself, the college advisor, if you need any help with anything college related. Your parents, use your parents as a resource. They're there all the time. So talk to them about what you need. And maybe they can help connect you to another resource that could be even more helpful. And then your teachers, somebody that you see almost every day. Those are people that are there for you. We're all here for you to help you navigate this crazy time that is high school. And we want you to be as successful as possible. So help us help you. Thanks for joining. Any questions? If you do, drop them in the chat. I will read them out. And then I know we had one a little bit earlier. And the question was, can you take the PSAT in 9th grade in the spring of 2021? So do you want me to answer this or do you want to? Okay. So the PSAT is only offered at Eastern View in October. So it's offered in October of your 10th grade year and October of your junior year. So you can take it for free your 10th grade year for $17 your junior year. There is something available called the PSAT in MSQ, and that is for 8th and 9th grade students, I believe. It's not offered at Eastern View widely, but if you would like more information about it, your counselors or myself can get you information about taking that. Unmute. I actually can't unmute you. I think you have to, yeah, you're unmuted.
Okay, now I'm unmuted. Yeah, it just won't let me click it for some reason on my own without you initiating it. Okay. So you answered the PSAT question. Go ahead. I just wanted to be unmuted so I could help if needed.
Okay. So when are counselor meetings?
So counselor meetings will actually get started. Some are already starting now, like right around, I mean, this week really getting going. Each counselor is kind of at a different point of kind of being ready to jump in today, yesterday, tomorrow. So again, if you are in school on 2 days a week, your counselor will catch you, whether it's Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. If you're virtual, it's really, really, really important. I really want to stress, please keep an eye on your school email. That is how counselors will reach out to you if you're virtual to try and schedule your meeting. Or if for some reason you are in the building blended, but maybe struggling in your classes or something, we don't want to pull you from classes during, you know, those 2 days a week that you're in school, then we still might reach out to you and try and schedule a virtual meeting. So be checking your school email, please respond. Once that meeting is scheduled, please attend so that then we can work through those individual meetings.
The next question is, what are the requirements for the nursing program?
So the requirements for the nursing program, a lot of it comes into, there is that VPT test that was mentioned for the dual enrollment, which again, because of COVID right now, isn't being utilized this year. But for you 9th graders, the nursing program won't come into play until senior year, applying during your junior year. So at that point, VPT might come back. So it would be based on your VPT scores. There is a minimum GPA that you have to have. There are not as many set class prereqs outside of chemistry, I believe your biology grade. So it would be best to maybe, if you are interested in the nursing program, to talk specifically to your counselor. The program has recently changed this past year, so the requirements did adjust slightly. So who knows what it'll look like maybe 2 years from now when you all are juniors. But definitely talk to your counselor during your ACP meeting so that you can get the specifics.
The next question is there a way to see what careers you should pursue or major in college? So I'm guessing that you're probably asking maybe what majors you should major in if you're looking for a certain career. So that's a good question. It's kind of tricky because not all careers require a college degree. Not all college degrees follow to the same career. So it's a little bit broad. It's kind of a hard question to just pinpoint one answer, but if you do have an area of interest, definitely communicate that with your counselor, and then they can kind of steer you in the right direction. Do some exploring on Naviance and really check out the careers and different majors at different colleges, and then talk with your counselor about what you're interested in, and then we can kind of connect you with the right resources or the right information, whether or not you would go to a 2-year or trade school, or whether or not you would go to a 4-year college for the type of career you're looking for. So it's pretty broad and it varies, but if you just communicate that with the people around you, we can definitely get you some resources that would help you narrow it down. Okay, the next question is there any way to look at different trade schools and careers? So we actually updated our website. So there is a Future Center part to our website now on the Student Services page. You can find it on the homepage of the EVHS homepage under Student Services, and then go to Future Center. And there's a lot of different information about trade schools, 2 years, 4-year colleges. So you can kind of check out information there. Naviance, also doing the career pathways on Naviance is a good way to dive into different careers. And then if you have questions about specific trade schools or specific trades and you don't know where to go for those trades, we can kind of connect you with those resources as well. Anything to add, Ms. Smith?
No, I think you're hitting it. And I mean, I think the biggest thing is to these more specific questions. It's hard to answer widespread. So I think that's the beauty of having the ACP meeting, that follow-up, which is one-on-one individually with your counselor. So those are the things that you want to kind of bring up and talk about with your counselor. And like Ms. Wood said, then we can kind of help guide you to what resources, and with Mr. Johnson, our career coach, Ms. Wood, our college advisor, to then kind of triage from there with what you're interested in, what's going to be most helpful at that point.
Another question was, would your college choices and classes be affected if you transfer to a different school?
So if you were to transfer to like a different high school, it certainly could. So I think that could also be something to talk about specifically with your counselor. Sometimes when we know where you might transfer to and where you might be headed, we can help kind of line things up, or maybe even be in communication with the counselor there. So I don't know if you mean like your ACP, the actual plan doesn't necessarily transfer to another school, but you can take your own copy of it